Welcome to the Jeff Crilley Show. And now, here's Jeff Crilley.
Welcome back to the Jeff Crilley Show. Well, I will just make a bold statement. I think DFW is giving Silicon Valley a run for its money when it comes to innovation. My next guest is Molly Cain. She's the Executive Director of Tech Wildcatters. Molly?
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So what is Tech Wildcatters?
So we are a company that's been around since 2009. What we do is we directly invest in startups, usually seed round up to $25,000. And we take these startups through a very intensive mentoring resources process. They come live with our company for 12 weeks, and we throw everything at them, basically throw gasoline on their fire.
Wow. I've been to your offices. They're really cool.
We love them.
Yeah, they're
very
downtown,
creative.
And yeah, you just get off the elevator and you instantly
You're
are
in a
around.
different world.
You are.
Yeah.
It's fun. It really feels like you're walking into a Google or something like that.
We try to make it that way. We try to take them completely out of their element.
That's awesome. And I know that you have these pitch days where almost like Shark Tank.
We do, yeah. And I usually say that we take them through a 12-week Shark Tank. So it's very intensive. It's not just 30 minutes on a TV show. It is 12 weeks of very hard work, and it only works for the best of the most ambitious entrepreneurs. Our program culminates in a very large pitch day. This year we had it at the American Airlines Center, courtesy of the Dallas Stars, some of our partners. And we had over 1,200 people attend that event.
Wow, that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge. So I think because of shows like Shark Tank, I think everybody and their mother thinks, oh gosh, I can invent, I can do this. So what can you usually tell within the first few minutes of talking to an entrepreneur whether or not this person has what it takes to be successful with your help?
So you definitely get a feel for the entrepreneurs that are super hungry for it. Right. We use a lot of data-driven metrics that also tell us. We use the Cultural Index survey to tell us personality types and are they suited for CEO or are they better as a co-founder or technical expert on their team. We also take them through curriculum. We introduce them to mentors. We definitely get our mentors and our investor feedback on that. So it takes about 12 weeks to really get to know somebody, but by the time they leave our program, we can generally know what their trajectory is going to be.
And you don't take everybody who walks in the door?
No, absolutely not. We had 350 applications for this year's class, and we took 15.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's very competitive.
What does it take to make the cut? What would you say some of the criteria?
It varies quite a bit. So we generally look at the description of the company, and we ask for a 140-character description, so a very short description of what problem you're solving. And then we scroll over and we look at the founders. Are they PhDs solving a very complex problem? Or are they college students that have found a problem that's happening on campus and they really want to tackle that? So it definitely matters the makeup of the founder team. We judge based on the people mostly.
I'm going to ask you a random question because I just watched the latest Steve Jobs film. And I saw the one a couple years ago with Ashton Kutcher. In terms of kind of a model of building an empire, what did he do right? What did Jobs do right?
So Jobs has the personality type that's somewhat of a daredevil, and you generally lock those people in a room and they come up with brilliant ideas, and they cannot be stopped. They have to generate innovation constantly. But what's really important for someone like a Steve Jobs is everybody back behind him, and he hands off the document of innovation, and his team runs with it.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the things that I admired most about Steve Jobs is his ability to sell an idea to the public. His Apple unveilings, if you go to YouTube and put in Steve Jobs iPhone, I mean, it was really like the iPhone had the heavens opened, and the iPhone came down, and here it is. And he was right. I mean, he wasn't exaggerating. He was right. It changed the phone experience.
Oh, yeah. If you're going to be a truly successful startup entrepreneur, you have to be charismatic, and you have to have the ideas that people want to follow, even if they sound a little crazy.
So when you watch Shark Tank, the TV show, is that pretty realistic of what happens in the real world, or is that Hollywood?
So the pitches are very realistic. Entrepreneurs are pitching their business every day. I get probably 5 to 10 pitches a week, often more if it's an event week. I think what's not realistic is that there are 4 investors fighting for you every day.
Mm-hmm.
They're not.
Right.
You have to work very, very hard for the money.
And what would you say to the entrepreneur who's kind of on the fence? I don't know if I want to give up any equity in my company at all. How do you know when it's time to give up some equity?
So it just kind of depends. If the program, like for instance, if our program is going to help you, you have to be coachable. You have to be interested in getting mentors. And truly, I don't believe that anyone can get anywhere alone. So you have to be a humble leader and realize where your weak spots are. And for many, it's worth the equity.
My guest right now, Molly Cain. She's the Executive Director of Tech Wildcatters. Talk about some of your success stories, because you really have taken some concepts from the napkin to multi-million-dollar companies, haven't you?
The success stories are some of the most fun. We have over 100 startups that have gone through Tech Wildcatters, Health Wildcatters, and our Emerge program, which actually just launched this year in partnership with the Department of Homeland Security. So that was a really fun project. But about 105 startups, and throughout the years, of course, naturally, startups are not always going to survive, but the ones who have, from idea to where they're at now, we have several that are valued at over $100 million.
Oh my goodness!
So yeah.
That must make you so proud.
I'm a proud mama bear for many of them. It's fun to see their teams growing. It's fun to bring them back in to talk to our current teams and to coach those that are coming up behind them.
What is there a graduation, or is there like a sadness after the 12 weeks, or are you kind of happy to see them out of the house?
I get empty nest syndrome very
really?
bad. Yeah, we live with them for 12 weeks, so we get to know them. They become our friends. They become family. Anytime I send an email out to our investors, our mentors, and our alums, I title it TW Family. So we're a very tight-knit community, and we're there for the life of the company.
What are some of the trends that you're seeing right now in technology here in North Texas?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we specialize in B2B technology. We're seeing a lot of mobility, transportation. We're seeing a lot of health. We're seeing a lot of fintech. We see a lot of general software solutions that any number of corporations would find handy.
And what I've been most impressed with is watching you guys grow. I mean, not only are you helping companies grow, but
yes.
You guys have grown tremendously. You started in 2010, is that
2009 was when it first started. Our first class was 2010. That started with our CEO, Gabriella Draney, and our team has slowly started growing as well. Clarissa Lindenmeyer, who is our VP of Partnerships, and then I joined last October, so a little over a year ago. And then we have 3 other support staff members. So we've grown leaps and bounds. And
you now have a national reputation, do you not?
We do, yeah. We were ranked in Inc. magazine in March. We're number 5 in the accelerators across the nation, which we consider a great recognition because there's over 3,000 in the world.
That's incredible. Now, is there any other competition in Texas in terms of, like in Austin, is there an incubator that you kind of keep your eye on?
Yeah, there's apparently 10 to 15 accelerators just in Dallas alone.
Wow.
So what we really like to do is companies that have graduated from other accelerators, we really like to see them come through our program because they've gotten that first early stage coaching, and then we want to take them to the next level.
Wow. Okay, so how can people support you? What does your organization need right now?
We're always looking for what I call good humans to come into the family. So we look for a very distinct, unique kind of investor that invests in our class each year. So we're always looking to be introduced to individuals who would like to have a little bit more fun than putting money in a mutual fund.
Right.
They can come hang out and they can actually see their investments come to life. It's very fun for a lot of people. We're constantly looking for business experts and entrepreneurs that have been there, done that kind of folks that can serve as mentors. And then we also constantly look for great partners. So anybody who has a service or a product that they might want to put into the hands of startups and they think that could be valuable. We have some very incredible partnerships with, like I said, the Dallas Stars. We've got Softlayer. We've got Blue Star Payments. Wow. We have some very legitimate, great companies that work with us.
And how do you guys make your money?
Through a variety of ways. We don't charge for any of our events, but we charge for sponsorships and awareness. Our network is extremely large, very big, and we make some amazing connections for people.
That's awesome.
And then eventually, in the long run, we take equity from the startups of varying levels, and we hope to see them exit one day, and that's where the real money's at.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you had that big payday yet? I mean, has there been that?
There have been a couple of paydays. Some of I like to say that there are several of the ones like the 100 million guys and those teams that are getting there, those are baking. Right. And so we've got massive success stories within our fold, and they're just not out yet.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, okay, how do people get a hold of you?
So they can go to our website at techwildcatters.com if they want to get in touch with me directly, if they're interested in applying or want to talk about possibly putting their startup through our accelerator. They could even tweet me at Molly Cain.
That's awesome. Molly Cain with Tech Wildcatters, thank you for being my guest.
Thank you. When
we come back, what is up with Grapevine, Texas? How come every time you turn around it gets bigger and bigger and better like a fine wine? That's next on the Jeff Crilley Show.
You're listening to the Jeff Crilley Show on Talk Radio 1190.